Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now as you know, I quite like showcasing rank 4 6-star gameplay, especially if those rank 4s are, a bit quirky, a bit different, maybe not something that everybody would go for, especially as early on in the rank 4 life cycle, so to speak. And today I have the pleasure of having been sent a gameplay of Red Guardian. So let's say huge thank you to Adam. He emailed me over a few short clips, and his first rank 4 6-star is Red Guardian. So let's take a look at it. And Red Guardian is a champion that I really want to love. And I think Red Guardian has a ton of potential in him if Kabam was just a bit more generous with the number loved there. I think Red Guardian would be perfect candidate for a tiniest of tweaks that would make the biggest of differences. And that is the duration of the debuff that he gets after his shield gets fractured of level 2. And if there would be that, then it would be significantly much more powerful as a champion. So obviously in this fight against Winter Soldier, Red Guardian is at a class disadvantage. And that also unfortunately means that you cannot slow the Winter Soldier because of the class disadvantage. And you don't have access to that increased power rate. Now here, he just waited a little bit in order to be able to go for several heavy spam in a row. And we can see that the duration of that debuff, it's very tight, it's very narrow pretty much every single time. Like right here, he goes in for level 2, but that animation seems to last just a bit too long and he drops the second charge. If that second charge wasn't dropped, then, the fight would be pretty much over at this point here. And that's just the thing. Like, if he would stop that trauma during his special attacks, if that trauma lasted slightly longer, I think Red Guardian would be such an amazing champion because there are a ton of awesome qualities to him. The fact that he never gains buffs, the fact that he can block unblockables, and even that level 2. When you do happen to hit that crit, we saw that there's 45k crit there and like 30k some extra damage. So, there are some very good numbers with pretty much zero ramp up. It's just the duration of those abilities. Now let's take a look at Red Guardian against Sorcerer Supreme in Act 7. Now this is fairly finicky fight. I do recall this fight. It was quite annoying indeed. So let's see how he's going to be. And the biggest thing here is obviously all the power gains in the world and spite on Sorcerer Supreme. However, with Red Guardian, you never have to worry about spite because you're quite literally unable to gain a buff. So quite a solid option here. And let's see how this entire fight goes. Keep in mind that, this is a fairly about as stacked Sorcerer Supreme as you can find anywhere in the contest with a 100k PI. That is quite a beefy PI there. It will be even higher, but, class disadvantage brings it down slightly. So here he did have a small error dexing that level 2. It's kind of funny to see staggers placed on Red Guardian because they literally do not do anything aside from let Red Guardian, have some willpower heal because, there's never going to be anything to stagger. So now he's going to go in for a nice level 2 with that shield fracture here. Another heavy attack. Unfortunately, that didn't crit, but we can see that that single level 2 pretty much got down half of the HP from Sorcerer Supreme. And that level 2 can hit really hard. I do have a rank 5 5-star Red Guardian myself. And, I'm not going to lie, I don't use him all that often, especially because these days I kind of primarily just use rank 3 6-stars. And Red Guardian is one of those champions that you do want to have at high SIG. So I'm not too sure whether I will be committing to that investment on Red Guardian in the near future. However, that is, again, one of the things that I like about showcasing these different champions. Look at that. That was like 100+k damage from that second hit in the level 2. So where was I? That's one of the things that I do love about showcasing champions that are a bit different because this is a game and obviously, there are champions that are better than others. But for most part, whenever people ask me, should I rank this and should I rank that? The answer is, which one do you like and enjoy most? Obviously, if you're comparing somebody like very good to somebody very bad, like Captain, I don't know, Hercules and classic Captain Marvel. Like, obviously, it's recommend ranking up Hercules, but if you are looking at a decent, good champion, and it just happened to be a champion that you yourself enjoy, then you should always go with those champions, and you should rank them up and have fun with them. Again, debate is how to approach your rank 4 rank ups and stuff like that, and it's different for each and every single person, how competitive you want to play, things that you prioritize, but there's always something to be respected about people who just don't care and rank whoever they want, and I like that. And now we have Dormammu, and obviously Red Guardian has a fantastic time against Dormammu because, you know, you're never gonna have any buffs on yourself, so you don't have anything to worry about. I think this fight also has Dismay on it. So will he go for a level 2 here? I don't think he... Sorry, will he go for a level 1 here? I don't think he kind of has to. So he's going to go for a level 2 here. Unfortunately, it didn't crit, but even not critting, it does plenty of damage. And that life cycle is being slightly annoying, but the fight is over here just like that. And we're going to have another fight, which I believe is going to be Symbiote Supreme, and as the final boss of 6.21. Yes, 1. I think it is 6.21. So let's see. Obviously, again, Red Guardian has a very good time against Symbiote Supreme because of the whole no buff thing. So let's see this fight in the full. So we have Life Cycle, Prey on the Peak, Pilfer, Regeneration. None of these things matter. None of these things matter. Because there's never going to be anything to pilfer. There's never going to be anything to stagger for Symbiote Supreme. So Red Guardian's going to have a very, very good time here. And especially because Symbiote Supreme has 0 combat power gain. So you can strike him as much as you want. He isn't gaining any power outside of his, you know, own innate power gain abilities. So you can quite often be very aggressive towards Symbiote Supreme, more so than you would be against many other champions if you manage to kind of manage its power quite well. But the best thing is that, yes, you never have to worry about getting a buff staggered, for instance. So he's going to go in for a level 2 here, I think. And, you know, that's probably not going to be far from finishing this fight. And yeah, just like that, the entire fight is over as well. And then we have Red Guardian against 716 Clapback Buffet Lane. Let's see how it looks like here in this clip. And, is he going to be using Red Guardian or the Abomination? Wait, what rank was that Abomination? Because I think this is Abomination cheese time. I think this is the Abomination cheese time, which Abomination. But this first fight, Red Guardian. But yeah, I remember recording a video on this lane with the rank 1 Abomination, and that Abomination already absolutely shredded everybody here. So let's see how he does on this path with his rank 4 Red Guardian and a rank 3 A-Bomb. So right here, Ebony Maw obviously, again, will never have anything to nullify, and that's kind of one of the cooler things, because typically against Ebony Maw, you will eat at the very least that 1 degeneration, because if he uses his level 1, he places a Fury buff on you, and then the second level 1 would nullify that. However, obviously, Ebony Maw cannot place a Fury buff on you against Red Guardian because you cannot gain buffs. So it's again one of those little neat, sweet things, so to speak. And here the fight's pretty much over, I think. It's pretty much over. I think he's gonna get faulted here for a second. Not a big deal. And now he just needs to find an opening and be done with it. And that level 2 is going to be way overkill. Right. I do kind of want to see the rank 3 Abomination here. I want to see if he uses it. He should. Because, you know, rank 3 Abomination, again, isn't one of the most necessarily common rank ups. It was a rank up that I had been pondering for a while, but I never ended up pulling a trigger. It is really fun, however. In all of the short-ish duration fights, I think this setup is probably the kind of best poison damage that's available out there in the game. You know, in longer fights, Diablo and Immortal Abomination and Hawkeye now with Tiger Synergy and whoever else can overtake A-Bomb. But in the short duration fights, I think A-Bomb actually probably has the best kind of access to poison, because it's very easy, it's very straightforward. You just land a combo and opponents can have like 2 or 3 poisons active on them. And those poisons are quite potent. And we saw that the fight was very, very short there. So I think that we're going to see a bit more of OG Abomination here as a bonus feature, so to speak. And yeah, no, I remember having a very good time on this lane myself. And I was using just like a measly rank 1, let alone in the rank 3. So there is a very like interesting interaction, because there's clapback and there is another node whenever you would be poisoned, but you're immune to that poison, you gain like a fury. And that's why we see all of those passive furies. That's why we see just, you know, a ton of damage on the Scarlet Witch Classic, because Abomination's poison gets more potent with your modified attack increasing. So it all kind of works perfectly hand in hand just to do a ton of damage. You can see some of those poisons are like 2,000 or something per tick. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. So let's just check out that Venom Pool fight now. We're going to check out what HP that Venom Pool has and how quickly all of that will be over. So that's 400k HP. So that's, you know, not quite as big. Oh, turns out Red Guardian fight. Why not? Let's see how Red Guardian does. And here we are. Venom Pool, obviously, significantly more annoying fight now than it used to be before. It's not like he's the craziest defender, but I do have to fight Venom Pool like I think twice, or at least once. No, actually twice every AQ. In map 8, Venom Pool's on my path in section 1 and in section 3. And, you know, it can get annoying with all of the power gains and buffs and everything else. So, definitely slightly harder to fight against Venom Pool than it was pre-buff. We can definitely see that, you know, the fight does not last long either. He just goes straight up for level 2. I'm going to drop 2 heavies here again in a row because stun is long enough. And that pretty much is probably going to finish off this fight. I think if he had dropped his level 1, that probably would have been enough. But now he's going to go for an, well, there's no need for another level 2. But that is pretty much it. So it is quite cool to see a rank 4 6-star Red Guardian gameplay. I did not think I'm going to be able to see it. And huge thank you to Adam for sending it over. If you do have some quirkier rank 4 champions ranked up, then, you know, please do feel free to message me as well, reach out and record some gameplay, and I'll be glad to feature it, because it's quite awesome to see champions that, you know, not everybody might necessarily be fully aware of what they can do when they are taken to the highest levels of progression. And this definitely qualifies as one of them. But let's finish this fight then against the Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom's, this AI is a bit of a nightmare recently. That Dr. Doom was knowing exactly what he's doing with that not throwing his special up until the very moment that that slow expires. The AI definitely has been a bit sketchy recently. Right, so anyhow. So here we can see that Dr. Doom is at still 82% health. So Dr. Doom is doing very, very well, obviously, because it's almost impossible to crit against that guy. So he's going to go for heavy here to refresh that slow. And then he's going to go in for a nice level 2. Unfortunately, again, none of that crits, but that's still okay. So level 2, very well. Putting in a bit more damage. Fortunately, could not quite refresh that trauma. And that's, again, the biggest thing that I have talked about. That trauma just needs to be a bit longer and pause during special attacks. Then Red Guardian would be kicking some major bottom end. So let's see what he does here. Another refresh of that. And now he's going to go for level 3. That should inflict physical vulnerability and increase Red Guardian's overall damage. Kind of wish I would have seen Red Guardian with Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, because Mr. Fantastic pre-fights let Red Guardian do a lot more damage. Kind of wish there was one fight with those included. But let's see what happens. Let's see how this fight ends, and that will be quite it. I'm actually kind of, curious here myself, because it is quite tight fight, Doom still winning the HP battle. But let's see whether Red Guardian can pull it back. I'm sure he can. Just need one good level 2 to finish this off. And 2 heavies. And now Doom's at 10%. And for first time in the fight, Red Guardian's winning the HP fight. He's tiny bit too late to refresh the trauma again. And still, the fight is over. So that is it for now. You can stop with that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons. And I will catch you guys soon. See ya.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the